Hi everyone, this is Michael Hughes with PCS Home Realty and Property Management. Today I wanted to do a quick video about protesting your property taxes in El Paso. I know a lot of people have questions about this. It's that time of year, you're probably getting your notices, and sometimes these property valuations can jump up quite a bit every year if you're not paying attention. So, something I like to do personally is protest my property taxes every year, especially if the valuation went up. So, I'm going to show you briefly just the process to do that. It's pretty quick. You can do it online, or you could go to the Trowbridge office in person, but I'm going to show you how to do it online directly from your computer. It's a pretty easy process. Just a disclaimer as well, this video is not a legal advice. I'm not a professional at protesting taxes. I'm a real estate agent. But I'm just going to show you quickly the brief process of how to do it and then answer some questions at the end that I commonly get. So I'm going to share my screen here and just get right into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the El Paso Central Appraisal District.org. So you can just go to epcad.org here. It's going to do it right from the beginning. And then you're going to go to property search. So you're going to look for your address here. I'm going to do an example of one of my properties that I'm protesting this year. So I'm just going to type in my address. This is the property that I own. I'm going to be protesting it this year. Click on it, search for it here, and then you're going to be able to see, okay, make sure you're on the year 2025. So they have this house for the tax appraisal. They have it appraised at $254,631. I know like offhand that that's way too high. This house would probably sell for around like 220. So they have it appraised quite a bit higher than like what it's actually worth. So you can, if you want to check to see like what it was last year or any previous year, you can go to last year. And you can see this one jumped up from 210 to 250. So they had like $40,000 increase on the appraised value, which is ridiculous. A lot of the times, the appraisals are not super accurate. So if you don't pay attention, they can really jack these values up and you end up paying like a lot more than you should on your property taxes. So what I'm going to do to protest this is I'm just going to go to property services. I'm going to click on property services here. And you can, let me see. Oh, you know, I believe I did. Oh, if you want to check out some of the stuff on here, you can check out your you should have gotten this in the mail, but it'll show you the same thing I just showed you 2024 to 2025. And you can look at that, but get out of this here. Let me see, I think I should be able to do it here. I did mine in person, but yeah, here it is. Okay. So go back. You just click on this EPCAD portal to start your protest. And okay. Saying the deadline is May 15th, so you want to make sure you do this in the next like week or two. I recommend just doing it now, getting it out of the way. Okay. I've already filed a protest on this one, so I'm gonna go through the whole thing without like actually submitting it. But let me see. Okay, so you're gonna fill this out. You can put on here, like I'm a military veteran. I don't think it really impacts my tax protest. This one's a rental property, so it's not like there's no homestead or like VA disability exemptions or anything. But I'm just gonna put I'm a military veteran. Um, you can put your phone number on here. There you go. This property is not a mobile home. So you just want to make sure if it is you'll know if it's a mobile home, right? So if it is, just put yes. And then right here, this is the reason you're going to protest your taxes. So normally I'm just going to click incorrect appraised value. So I think this property is worth like 220 is what I could sell it for. And they have it at like 250. Now, when I show up to my hearing or my informal meeting with an appraiser, I'm going to bring in comparable properties. If you guys need help with that, just let me know. I can do some quick comps for you. Um, but you're going to want to bring in some comparable properties that have sold recently and go, look, here's a price per square foot. I think you guys have it higher. Get into a little more of that anyway. There's a couple of other things you can do here if you click on it. So I believe there's one. I know people have protested it with people have protested it for like damages or wear and tear to the property. That isn't also an option. Normally, I'm just going to click this one here. I know you can like get some things off with like an inspection report and things like that. I'm not super familiar with that personally. I normally just click this. This is going to be like your most common thing. You don't have to do this. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that either. You can skip that. You're going to want to request an informal hearing. So this basically the process works like this. You're going to get a hearing date. And then any time before that hearing date, you can go into EPCAD on the Trowbridge office and do an informal conference with an appraiser. So that's where you sit one-on-one with one of their appraisers and you tell them, hey, I think you guys have my place appraised too high. Here's the comps that I'm looking at. I want you to like lower that valuation. And there might be a little bit of back and forth. Um, Usually they'll click on their comps and go, yeah, okay, I can get you down this much based on like the comps that I have. Um, so it really depends on the property. I've been able to get mine like lowered significantly sometimes, or they're like, oh, I can only lower it like 10K or whatever. Um, so when you're doing this, basically, if you don't agree to an evaluation on your informal conference or during your informal conference, then you're going to be going to like your hearing. Um, so I've been able to actually get mine down to an acceptable level pretty much for all of them during the informal conference. I know there's other people who have done the panel. And basically, that's where comes in right here. A single member panel is going to just be one person or regular panel. So basically, just to summarize, first you're going to do an informal conference. You'll do a one-on-one with one of their appraisers. You just sit down, see if you can come to an agreeable settlement on the valuation. And then if you still want to go higher than that, then you can go to the actual like panel where you sit down and like I believe there's going to be three appraisers there, and then you can like go through that process with them. I think most people will do the settle at the informal conference, but again, that's a personal decision on you. Um, so, and there's a few things you can do for the hearing, right? So for the hearing, um, you can do in person. And then if you're out of town, you can do like a video conference. There's a few other things you can do. There's a little bit of stipulations in this, but I'm just going to do in person. I'm here in El Paso. I'm going to go show up. And then I'm just going to get any notices by regular mail. I don't need a copy of that unless you want to. You can click yes. I'm going to hit by email. I want to be notified by email. I've tried the text one before. I don't seem to get a text, but the email is pretty reliable. So I'm going to put my email on there. And then you're going to fill out the rest of it. So is your property appraisal 61 million or more? No. There's some commercial buildings like skyscrapers and stuff that are going to be worth that for sure. They're taxed a little bit differently, but I do not want to e-file. Yeah, I'm going to show up in person and like talk to them. So I'm not going to e-file. I'm going to sign it myself. Oops. No, property owner, sorry. Property owner's agent would be like if you having a company do this for you, so you can sign, date, and then you'll hit next, and then it'll basically just ask you to submit. I'm not gonna actually submit mine because I've already done it. But that's pretty much the process right there for getting your tax exemption or your tax protest submitted. So basically, once you submit this, you should be getting a date for a hearing. Usually it's like 3 to 4 weeks from the time you submitted your protest. And then basically any time before your hearing date, as long as you have that date scheduled, you can usually go in on a walk-in basis to EPCAD at this Trowbridge office and do like your informal conference with the appraiser. So normally what I do is I'll probably get my hearing. I did mine yesterday, so I'll probably get a date for like mid-May to come in for my hearing, but I'm probably going to go in once I get those dates. I'm going to go in like the next day and just do my informal conference with the appraiser and see if I can get my properties worked out like that. So that's kind of the process in a nutshell there. And then, yeah, I recommend doing this pretty much every year, unless your property has either gone down in value or it has stayed the same and you're happy with that valuation. But if it goes up even like a little bit, I usually will go in and protest it. Um, Especially like they really like to kind of jack up some of these different areas, like on the east side and things like that. So recommend doing this. It'll help keep your escrow, help keep you from having so many shortages. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Um, Common question I get before I let you go is that can they raise my value, right? If they have it, they say like 250 and I walk in there and protest because I think it's lower, can they go up to 265? No, they cannot. They're not going to raise it ever. So it's literally like you're not really risking anything besides maybe like losing some time. But it there doesn't really take that much time. See, what's another question I get? So yeah, I would go ahead and do it. Oh, yes, one more thing too. So if you bought your house, sometimes, let's say I bought a house in 2024 and I bought it for like 290 and they have my tax appraisal at 325. I don't really need to even bring in any comps or anything. I can just bring my contract in from last year and say, "Hey, you guys appraised my house at 325, but I bought it in 2024 for 295. So I'd like it to be at least 295." And they'll usually lower it to like what you bought it for at least. Um, and I believe it's got to be the previous year because if you bought something like this year, sometimes they give you flack about like, no, you got to wait till next year, which is pretty stupid, but it's just like one of the technicalities. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about protesting your taxes or just real estate in general, be happy to help. We are a real estate brokerage, so we do buying and selling, and then we also do property management as well. So if you need help with any rental properties or you want to interview a property manager, we would love to help. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.